welcome back to BSRTV for round 15 of the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. That information is wrong. There we go. Round 15 on your screen here on BSRTV with me, Chris Cohen, joined once again by Adam Barth. Evening, Adam.
Yeah, good evening, Chris. Looking forward to this final race.
Well, this should be an absolutely fascinating race. We've had two great races already, but big news in that last race, really, round 14, is we lost a few big names. Sutton not being able to finish higher than 34th, and Hoog in 35th, so 33rd rather. So that should have big championship implications, shall we say? And
Sebastian Job in 40th place. However, he might have had technical issues as he was disconnected.
Well, we did wonder in the first race about whether Job might have been disqualified or whether he disconnected, so shame to see that, but with a grid so big, inevitably going to get some guys with dodgy internet. And the reverse grid top 20 will come into effect in this very race, which means that whoever finished 20th in that last race will be starting on pole position this time, and whoever won it, which happened to be David Baker, will be starting back in 20th place. So the front row of the grid is going to be Kevin Critchley and Russell Laidler, but more interesting perhaps is the fact that Peter Van Gool starts third, Adam.
Yeah, we've seen in the last few race meetings he's been right up there on the grid for this final race. However, he hasn't been able to make much of it. Let's see if he can today. Well, we have the opportunity now just to go over to David Taylor, who's driving for DM Racing Hydrographics. We'll see if we can get a quick word with the DM driver just before this race starts. About 3 minutes to the grid, David. Not the best result so far tonight, but hoping to turn it around in race 3.
Yeah, hi Chris. Yeah, hopefully get up the grid a wee bit more without all the incidents happening up in front of me.
Well, talk us through the start of race 2, because that was a bit exciting for you.
Yeah, for some reason 3 wide into turn 1 I got turned either by Ashley or Andrew, which gave me some right end damage, so I was kind of dragging the car all the way and then ended up getting disqualified after like 6 laps, so hopefully the third race will be better.
Well, your teammate Dan Hunt was looking pretty good for a race 1 finish inside the top 10, and then that didn't quite work out. Have you had a chance to speak to him about that one?
No, not at the moment. I'm just going to wait till after the races, but I did look back at the replay and I seen one of the DMR cars going into orbit. Yeah,
some very... I mean, it's difficult to get through turn 1 cleanly here, isn't it? Especially when you're in the mid-pack.
Yeah, you could only probably go through 2 or 3 wide. Any more than that and you're going to end up either in the wall or over the top of someone.
Well, starting position for race 3 will be 36th on the grid, so I'm hoping to bring this one home obviously, but can you move up from there?
Well, we're hoping, but there's a lot of fast cars in front of me and behind me, so we'll just see how we could get over the finish line without very many incidents.
Well, best of luck to you, and we'll be watching you out on the track.
Thank you very much, Chris. You too.
That's David Taylor there for DM Racing, and wondering if we can go over and have a very quick word with Jamie Rushworth. We spoke to him a little bit earlier, but 2 second places, Jamie, is going pretty well this evening for you.
Yeah, it's going pretty well indeed. I was hoping for a win that time, but Jerome is defending so hard.
Well, did you feel, I mean, we were talking in the commentary box about perhaps he was driving a little bit slower than he could have done just to let David Baker get away. How did you feel about that?
Oh, absolutely. He even told me after the race that's what he was doing, which is fair enough.
Well, it's not always easy to overtake, but you do have some of the long straights to get round. But race 3 is going to be tricky because you're starting from 19th on the grid. How far realistically can you move up inside those 9 laps?
I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get a top 5, because I imagine there'll be crashes and such.
And turn 1's going to be interesting as always?
Of course, I'll be keeping my eyes open there.
Well, best of luck to you in the final race and the whole Movie Go Racing team.
Thank you very much.
Jamie Rushworth there for Movie Go Racing. And we had a quick comment from Charmaine in the comments in the YouTube, just to say P11 from race 2 was missing. The results that you saw on the screen were the actual classified results. We did lose someone. I'm not sure who it was, but it might well have been a disqualification or some other reason for that. I don't have any further information for you at the moment, unfortunately. But let's run down that top 10 anyway, Adam.
Yeah, the starting grid for this race: Kevin Critchley in the Pertec car on pole position, alongside him Russell Laidler, Peter Van Gool third, Robin Smith in fourth, and then Laura Bond in fifth place, Matt Walker in sixth, Janowski in seventh, Smolensky in eighth, Stelian Chepelecki ninth, Reggie Blaine 10th. Into the second half, it's Svidovic, Tim Mawson, Linus Bostrom, Jake Tucker, Adam Terry, Jerome Kaiser, Andreas Katz, Ade Koba Lopez in 18th place, Jamie Rushworth 19th, and David Baker, the winner of race 2, in 20th position.
Well, thanks for that, and it's going to be very tricky to get through turn 1 cleanly for any of these guys, but especially these guys at the front. As we just look at Jamie Rushworth's car, should be wearing the number 1. I'm not sure why he's not wearing the number 1 as the champion, but he's number 12 this evening for some reason, as Ben Palmer has the number 1 on his car. Interesting to see that, but anyway, he's got Koba Lopez just up in front of him. Another 9 laps around Circuit of the Americas, very difficult, but interesting to note that 7th, 8th and 9th are all belonging to Yuasa Racing, so they've got a kind of a roadblock to the cars behind Adam.
Yeah, believe it or not, 3 Yuasa cars were facing the wrong way in turn 1 and race 1, and now they're up there in the reverse grid for race 3, so good job by those guys.
Now, interestingly, we've got a few gaps here in the grid. Let's just go down to the front, and there's Peter Van Gool starting just on row 2, and Russell Laidler will lead them, well, not lead them away, but he's on the outside there in the yellow CQR machine. We're coming down now into turn 1. Now this is where things get tricky, and well, it's going to be very tight. Oh, we've got a spinner. Is that Rushworth has spun round? I think it might well be.
It wasn't.
No. Is that Robin Smith then instead? And they're just about 3 or 4 wide going through here now. Van Gool's lost a load of places already. Brewstrom down the inside there. And that's Rushworth just behind, in fact. He's going to have to take that one very carefully through there. Well, that movie go-kart did recover. Oh, Van Gool's, well, taking a shortcut there. He's going to get a slowdown for that. Definitely. Well, it's chaotic at the start once again, and we're losing people.
Poor Peter Van Gool once again failed to capitalise, and Laura Bond, for all you YouTube people, she's up into 3rd place.
Well, Andrew Whitehead, we're just looking at him, down to 40th after a spin there. Not sure what caused that, but there is the STP Bianco driver up to 3rd, just for some careful driving. Smolensky up to 4th already.
Laidler's got to slow down, so Laura Bond's up to 2nd.
Russell Laidler, having started 2nd, is going to be dropping a huge amount of positions here. That's a huge slowdown. Takes him a lot of time. 10th. It's going to be 11th probably. Oh, and there's a chrome restart car turned around in the background. Stefan Hoog. Not sure what happened. We couldn't see the whole thing, but that is going to put him even further down the field. Just look at all these cars trying to get through down to the end of the main straight. It's 2, 3, 4 wide. Oh, fascinating. Absolutely amazing racing. Oh, no, that's Sutton turned around. By Rushworth nonetheless. No less. Is that Sutton?
I think it might have been Robin Smith.
Well, let's go back and have another look at that one if we can. I don't think it was Sutton. It was another one of the CQRs there. There's so many cars here that we just... No, it was Sutton. Oh, Sutton's been turned over. Contact from somebody. Let's go back and have another look at that, because that was... So it's the 31 movie go, turning round Ash Sutton. He gets the car going again, but there's going to be huge front end damage on that car, and well, connection issues as well. I think he's realised now that he just can't keep that car going, so tries to pull it off to the side of the road. But with the connection issues, the other drivers might not have seen him there. Gets collected by one of the 888s. Well, it's always an action-packed final race, but more so than usual, I'd say.
Yeah, there's a battle going on between Svidovic and Chepelecki. Svidovic is now up into 7th position.
Chepelecki just behind. His teammate Janowski is in front of Svidovic right now as well. Further back, Koba Lopez 13th right now, and Rushworth just behind, and Jake Tucker behind him as well. They're coming through your picture right now. Brewstrom just managing to hold on to that 12th position, although here comes Koba Lopez. Well, he's going to get the inside line for the next corner surely, and he's going to take that position away from him to move up to 12th. No, he doesn't do it. Brewstrom does well to hold on to that one, Adam.
Yeah, I was expecting Lopez to get that done, but well done by Brewstrom sticking to his guns. And here comes one of the Pertec cars down the inside. There's surely going to be contacts. Yes, there is.
Oh, it's Jake Tucker. That was an absolute epic dive bomb from Jake Tucker, and Rush was climbing on the back of his car there, but a huge dive bomb, and he basically used one of the
Four wide.
Let's go back to the live pictures now. We'll bring a replay up that one up as soon as possible, but he used one of the Yuasa cars as a brake there. Koba Lopez didn't quite get that done, so Rush was just behind. He's got past his teammate Brewstrom, and Jake Tucker dodged a bullet on that one, I think. Let's go back a little bit further and have another look at that one. Well, it seemed like he came out of nowhere to come down the inside there. We might have gone a bit too far back on the tape, but let's have another look at that. So Brewstrom and Rushworth just up in front here, and Lopez in between them in the eBay car. Wow, Tucker's so late on the brakes here. There's no way he was going to get the car stopped. Makes contact with the number 15 there. That's Chepalewski, in fact. He's made contact with, put a nice dent in the door. But survives and seems to have benefited from it as well. Chepalewski now all the way down in 20th place, so maybe some damage on that car. Don't know how to feel about that. Oh, he's pulling it off. Chepalewski with issues, Adam.
Yeah, that's a shame for him. He did start way down the order in race 1, and he was looking like a good comeback, but that's a major shame for him in this race.
Yeah, it really is. Well, things starting to settle down a little bit towards the front. Critchley's got a 2.7 second lead now over Laura Bond as we just watch. It's really going to be the end of Chepalewski's race, I feel, unfortunately. Lopez in 11th. Savidovic up to 5th though, running well at the moment. Let's get those positions up on your screen for you at the moment. This is how it stands after 3 laps, or on the 3rd lap rather. Laidler from 2nd on the grid all the way down to 10th. It's not great for him. Smolenski doing well to get up to 3rd there, Adam.
And his teammate Janowski is having a look at the MG of Matt Walker, and now he's side by side with him down the back straight. Watch out for one of the Pertec cars and Andreas Katz to have a go as we come down the straight. Well, are we going to go 3 wide?
Tim Mawson, the Pertec there as well. Katz right down the inside of these guys. Should be able to get them both here. Oh, it's almost 4 wide. Wow, Janowski gets it. Oh, contact from Mawson on the back of Katz. Mawson the big loser there as Laidler goes through. Lopez is going to go through as no, he's going to go around the outside. Katz seems to be okay. Continuing on with that. Mawson just a bit late on the brakes, Adam.
Yeah, I think they were all trying to be the last of the late breakers, and unfortunately that didn't work out.
Tucker bundled out the way by Rushworth, who steals that position. It is absolutely chaotic out there on the track. We're trying to cover as much of it as possible, but with so many vehicles out there, it's proving to be extremely difficult to get to all the action. Brewstrom just behind Tucker now, so one of the movie goes is through, the other one's not. That's Adam Terry just behind as well. Look at Lopez now, down the inside of Tim Mawson. Mawson moves out of the way. Rushworth makes contact with the back of him as he acts as a bit of a roadblock there. Oh no, a slowdown
for Brewstrom.
Brewstrom with a slowdown again, and we've seen him get slowed down earlier, didn't we? Well, back to this battle now for what's 12th place, I guess. Tucker, Mawson, and Mawson just about holding it off from Tucker. Rushworth past them both. Terry behind. Lopez up to 10th position. Laidler gets back up to 9th. Just look at this nose to tail action all the way through the field. And Brewstrom recovering. Oh, and Field, what's happened to Simon Field? He's out, I think. Ellis Stevens is out. Rob Burton's out. Ashley Sutton is out. Oh, and he gets turned around. Laidler turns around Lopez as he jumps past, and Lopez survives. Oh, too wide now, Laidler and Tucker. Tucker's down the inside.
They rub up against each other, and now, oh, this is not going to end well, but he's through.
Tucker's braking is so late there, and kind of dive bombs down the inside and uses his car as a shield to stop anyone else getting through there. And there's a bit of contact again from Laidler, and the rear of Tucker's car is going to come in for a beating as Laidler gets into the slipstream now, drafting down the back straight. He'll easily clear Tucker. Side by side in the background, Mawson and Terry. Oh, Tucker rubbing up against the back of that CQR machine. But Laidler's through. That's 11th place for Laidler. Hardly taking a breath in this race, it feels like, Adam.
Yeah, and it's going to get more exciting because Lopez and Rushworth, the two championship contenders at the moment, are going into battle with Matt Walker in their KX Momentum car.
And Matt Walker arguably not quite as fast as these guys, so it shouldn't be long before they're right on the back of the KX Club card. Walker runs a little bit wide there. Not going to be able to defend from Lopez. Rushworth won't be able to get through here. And this is the chance Lopez is looking for to get away. Katz, meanwhile, looking round the back of Janowski's car, gets a much better exit off the final corner. And it's a drag race now. Katz can't quite get the upper hand. Tucks in behind Janowski once again here. And look at all of these cars coming down that start-finish straight now. The number 99 of Kevin Critchley now has a 3-second gap. And up front as well, Laura Bond's second place is under threat from Smolensky. I just don't know where to focus on the track, I think it's fair to say. Meanwhile, further down the field, Mark Cardix, who we saw as a guest driver, is in 16th place right now. He is just ahead of Marcus Naris at the top of the picture right now. Richard Wild, they're in 18th with Pete Newman in the Exocet Racing colours in 19th place. Peter Van Gool, though, we saw him third place on the grid, Adam. He's down to 21st now, so again it doesn't work out for Van Gool.
Yeah, not what he wanted. I saw him go into the back of the movie go-kart, and that was another bad race for him, as it looks like Koba Lopez is trying to get past one of the Chrome Restart cars.
That's one of the Karcher machines, in fact. It's Andreas Katz just up in front. Janowski in front of him, but Rushworth's 1.2 seconds behind this battle now. Lopez will have the advantage in the draft here. Oh, cutting it very, very fine. Takes that position away from Katz. So he's through to 7th place from 18th on the grid. And it's only halfway through this race. How high in this race can he get?
I'm going to say he can get into the top 5.
Well, that's probably on the cards, because Janowski, you can see on the track, he's not that far ahead. Really?
Laura Bond seems to have dropped Smolensky. She seems to have pulled out a bit of a gap now. 1.3 seconds as we come around to complete another lap.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a long way to Critchley. He's all the way down the road there. You can see at the top of your picture. Bond second, Smolensky third, Savidovic holding on to 4th place, having himself a quiet race. The highest placed Movie Go driver is currently Reggie Blaine, who is in 5th place right now. He's not far behind either, and Koba Lopez gets past Katz and Janowski. So Koba Lopez up to 6th place. Oh, a dive bomb down the inside with Katz. Oh, oh, and a contact in the background. Rushworth gets into the back of Janowski, almost turns him over, in fact. Uncharacteristic from Rushworth to be that aggressive. Laidler holding on to 11th, just behind Matt Walker here. Well, all the cars come through the S's for the 6th time in this 9-lap race. And that reverse grid top 20 sure makes things interesting, doesn't it, off the grid?
Yeah, we've seen some unknown people up there. Well, people that we don't usually see at the front. Kevin Critchley in the Pertec car looks set for his for a win for the Pertec team, with Laura Bond in 2nd and Smolensky in 3rd. 3 people that we don't usually see up there.
Oh, and Steve Richardson must have had a slow down there. He's well off the track, as we were just looking at that battle between Robert Graham and Colin Steele. These guys running about 2-3 seconds slower than the rest of the field, so not going to be near the front in this race, but still their own battles to fight in their own time. Von Glan just in front of these guys, 26th place there. His Karcher teammate Nils Jordan just up in front. Dan Hunt managing to get back to 23rd after some disappointing results earlier in the day. But look at this, Matt Walker versus Russell Laidler with Jake Tucker just behind. Another Pertec as well behind us, Tim Mawson, and that's Linus Brustrom in the background. Now, Critchley, oh, and Laidler's turned around. Oh, terrible news for Russell Laidler, who was running really well after starting second on the grid. Has to back that one up to get it turned around. He's going to get back on the circuit, but that's put him all the way down there in 20th place. Well, let's go back and have another look at that one.
Jake Tucker was the person that he's got away virtually unscathed.
Well, that's the second questionable incident from Jake Tucker there. And, well, it's just a case of driver awareness, isn't it? It's, again, could have left more room. And, yeah, well, one of these days it probably will be Jake Tucker that's turned around rather than the other person, but until that happens, he'll probably carry on. You know, it wasn't questionable, I suppose. It was a case of both drivers not leaving each other enough room, but it always seems to be Tucker that's involved in those incidents, and you know, law of statistics might come into play. Anyway, third place, iRacing, Smolensky is now under threat from Savidovic, who's made up a huge amount of ground, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, he seems to be he's been pretty consistent this year, and this race meeting is no exception. He's been right up there throughout this whole race.
Can Smolensky hold on? That gap to Laura Bond is now 1.5 seconds, and Critchley is 5 seconds out in front with 3 laps to go, so probably going to be able to keep that one. And Smolensky trying to break, I don't know how to feel about that, trying to break the toe from the driver behind. Is that legitimate?
Maybe Savidovic, I don't know where Savidovic is trying to keep his line, but now he's on the attack as we head into turn 12. He's going to hit him, and he does, but he stays behind. Yes, he does.
Well, Savidovic looks on the cards to take this position. Didn't get the benefit of the draft because of some weaving there from Smolensky. And the rules state you cannot move across the track more than once. After you exit the corner, you can choose a line, and then you have to stay with that particular line right until the next corner. So questionable as to whether Smolensky was doing that or not. Well, it's definitely not in the spirit of the rules, but kept Savidovic behind nonetheless, and we're on board with him now. We're coming into the final stages of the last race. Good exit there from Savidovic, and it looks like he might well have got the job done here. Final corner.
Meanwhile, Reggie Blaine and Kobe Lopez up the inside. He is up into 5th place.
From 18th on the grid, he won't have any complaints about that, surely. He's driving extremely well this evening and is definitely going to hold on to that championship lead. Savidovic looks to have sealed the deal. Smolensky down to 4th as a result. Looks like another retirement for Ben Palmer. Laidler unable to get the car going again, so he's out of this race as well. And he's in the YouTube comments saying, guess what happened again? There is a protest system in this particular championship, so drivers free to file protests, and they are looked at by the stewards after each race. Tim Mawson coming through the top of the picture now. He is ahead of Jake Tucker and Linus Brustrom. Adam Terry and Matt Walker just behind. It's a 5-car train there. 2 laps to go. Critchley's lead is pretty safe. Great drive from Laura Bond so far. I don't want to curse it by talking about it too much in the commentary box, but 2nd place, 2.5 second advantage. Savidovic now up to 3rd though, so that might well come down. Look how close Tucker is to the back of Mawson's car. Almost taking our camera off the back of that car, and this is Tucker's favourite place to attack as he goes very deep into that corner. Might struggle to hold onto it on the exit. Mawson down to 11th as a result as Tucker goes through into that top 10 spot. But showed no quarter really, even though it was his teammate, Adam.
Yeah, Tucker's been right at it throughout this race. He's been forceful, and he's even been forceful with his teammate.
Well, down to the end of the straight then. Adam Terry, currently running 13th. Oh, and a slowdown. That's Jake Tucker with a slowdown. Needs to get out of the way of these cars up in front of him. Well, continuing to battle with Matt Walker. Now he's down the inside now. He should take this back from Matt Walker as he maintains 13th. Poor exit from Tucker though. Matt Walker's back on the warpath. He's got some steps to take if he wants to get past Tucker though. Lopez meanwhile up to 5th position. Just look at the battle raging behind Blaine, Katz and Rushworth as we head on to the last lap here. Critchley's lead has actually come down, although I expect, Adam, he's probably just maintaining that gap.
Yeah, I think you're right there, as Jamie Rushworth has a look, thinks better of it. Yes, he does.
And these guys just lapping one of the DM racing machines there. That car a lap down. Reggie Blaine in the number 7 holds on to 6th place. This would be a great result for these guys. 6th, 8th and 11th as it currently stands for Movie Go, with Robin Smith, the 4th driver, in 21st place right now. Good points haul. And what with the retirement of some of the... So Ellis Stevens for eBay Motors is out, and Steve Richardson's down in 30th. That'll be a shame for those guys because they'll be dropping some points there. Richard Wilde is 16th for eBay, and we know about this man, Koba Lopez, in 5th place, but it looks about as high as he's going to get because Smolenski's a long way down the road now.
Yeah, he is. And let's just talk about Pertec Racing. Kevin Critchley in the lead. Last season they struggled. Critchley moves in from Yuasa, brings Jake Tucker in for the full season. They've been reaping the benefits, and it looks like Kevin Critchley is going to get Pertec's first win of the season.
Indeed. Tim Mawson 10th for Pertec and Tucker 13th, although it could have been higher. So, good result for Pertec overall, if they can finish in that position. Oh, Brewstrom looks to have Pertec on the last lap down the... looks to have Mawson down the inside there. Takes that position away. Makes that one work. Critchley, though, really in a class of his own in that final race. No one came close to him at all. Janowski 9th. I'm not sure what happened to Chepolewski, but he's back down in 33rd position. He's really struggling. But across the line, Kevin Critchley for Pertec Racing takes round 15 from Circuit of the Americas. Great win from Critchley. Pole to flag. 2nd place goes to Laura Bond. She will be absolutely delighted with that one. Savinovich 3rd. Lopez is coming home 4th. Blaine 5th, I think, just about over the line. Then Katz, then Rushworth. Possibly the other way round. That was a close finish. And then Janowski and Tim Mawson. Well, it's very, very close at the end there. 9th. Oh, I don't know. It's close, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we'll be having to look at the timing pages for that.
Let's bring the results up as they currently stand anyway. Critchley with the win. Bond and Savinovich, both for STP Bianco, rounding out the podium. Smolenski 4th, Lopez 5th, Blaine 6th, Rushworth 7th. So 2 good finishes there for Movie Go Racing. Katz 8th, good result for him in the Karcher machine. Janowski, then Mawson, another Pertec finisher in the top 10. Terry, Brewstrom, and then Tucker, Walker, Cardix, doing very well considering he was a guest driver and didn't really compete in this particular championship. Richard Wilde, Peter Newman, great result for him. Naris, McCarran, and then Dan Hunt. So, good result, good recovery drive really from Dan Hunt before the end of the race. But I think the big news from that really is that Laura Bond, starting 5th on the grid, came home in 2nd place. So that's a really good result for her, and let's see if we can go over and speak to the STP Bianco driver right now. Laura, 2nd place, podium finish, great result.
Thanks a lot, Chris, I'm really pleased.
And starting 5th, you must have expected, no offence, but you must have expected to move backwards from there.
Yeah, I was really lucky at the start there, wasn't I? I haven't watched it back yet, but I know the guys alongside me got caught up. I managed to get off the line really well. I'm usually a bit slow off the line, so I was pleased with that. And then when I saw them get tangled up, I was really lucky.
And you had Alexander Smolenski behind you for a while. Looked like he might make a challenge, but then he dropped off, but we didn't see what happened there.
My teammate Wodge caught up, so Wodge was coming up behind in fourth and kept Alec busy. I think had Wodge not appeared, Alec might have got me, so I was really pleased to see Wodge keeping him busy and letting me kind of get a little gap between them.
And Critchley obviously off into the distance, but was there any chance that you might have caught up with him?
I'm not sure. He was slightly better than me pace-wise, and I was kind of tangled with Alex for a bit, which let him get a few seconds away. And once he got the gap, I wasn't going to be able to get that back. I was more kind of focused on not losing second than trying to get first.
Absolutely, and a good decision I think in the end, and a 2-3 finish for SDP Bianco, and not to mention your second place. That win still eludes you though, but tougher than ever to get now, isn't it?
It really is. I'm quite surprised to get a podium, to be honest, with the strength of the field this season. So really thrilled with tonight. Such good fun racing.
Well, great result, and we'll let you go off and tease Wodge about finishing ahead of him in this particular race. Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, Chris.
That's Laura Bond there, driving for STP Bianco with a second place finish. Third place to her teammate Wojtek Savidovic, who is affectionately known amongst the teammates as Big Wodge. So that's where that one comes from. But another fascinating race, and really good to see such great racing, even if it was pretty frantic at the start, Adam.
Yeah, well, that's touring car racing. We saw some brilliant battles, 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide down the back straight, brilliant overtaking, a bit naughty on some occasions, but that's just the BSRTC.
Well, let's go and have a word with Russell Laidler if we can, because Rusty, as he's known to his friends, was very, very competitive throughout, but suffered from a few incidents there, Russell.
Yeah, it's just not been my season, this one, has it? These things happen. You either get frustrated, which I have been doing, but you've just got to shrug it off.
So turned around by Jake Tucker there, and do you feel like he could have given you a bit more room?
No comment.
And well, I'm sure we saw a few aggressive drives all the way through the field, but it's a difficult track with so many hairpins involved. There's a lot of heavy braking areas, and the exits from those can often be perilous, as you obviously found out. And your teammate Ash Sutton, who you probably agree is generally faster even than you, is very struggling this evening as well.
But it's the same scenario. This track's a bit like Silverstone, nice wide, loads of runoff. It's hard to say. I mean, when the adrenaline's pumping, I know it's sim racing, but it does. There's times I get more of adrenaline buzz here than I have done when I've been out, say, testing in the Golf. I don't know. It's one of those things. But so when the adrenaline's pumping through you, you just focus and you want to get forwards. You want to go forwards. You don't want to go backwards. You want to go forwards, and life goes on.
Well, better luck next time, and back in action next week, of course.
I've been saying that for the last 4 weeks, haven't I? But
well, it's
one of these days I'll get a win.
It's going to come off eventually, I was about to say. So thanks for joining us, Rusty.
No problem. Take it easy, guys.
It's Russell Laidler there for CQR, and would have liked to get a word with Ash Sutton as well, but I assume he's packed it in this evening after some disappointing results. Perhaps time to go over to Andy Katz. Are you there, Andy?
Yes, hello.
Good evening, and good result for you this evening. Some really good results out there, but it was a tough track, wasn't it?
Very cool racing, yes. Was very tough, but nice.
And it was very difficult to stay out of trouble in turn 1 because there were so many cars trying to get through there, but you managed to do that quite successfully.
You are very right, but I never had so much ink in one race. I was at 12 inks, so I had to be very careful at the end then.
And quite a few drivers were getting caught out by the incident count and getting disqualified. But when you're on that kind of limit, how does your driving change?
I let Jamie pass the last corner you saw to take no to keep the limit at 12. Yes.
But you managed to finish nonetheless, which is great news, and the Karcher team really doing very well this season, considering some new drivers in there. But how do you feel the championship's going for your team?
I think we can get better. I start to understand the new setup, and you can see my results are getting better and better now. So I count top 5.
Now you are former champion, of course, but the competition is much tougher with the likes of Koba Lopez and Stefan Hoog and Jamie Rushworth. Is there ever a chance you'll be competing for that number 1 spot?
Yes, I'm getting better and better.
Okay, well, we'll have to see if you can get up there. We'd like to see a win from you from before the end of the season, that's for sure. So best of luck with that, and great driving this evening.
Thank you. Bye.
That's Andy Katz there for Karcher, and a great team. Really nice paint job on those cars as well. All the paints, not all the paints, but a lot of the paints this evening been done by Andrew Whitehead, who's driving for CQR. So big thanks to him for putting in all of the effort on the paint. And 15 rounds down, 33 rounds in total, so still plenty of distance for these guys to cover. And like you say, like Mr. Katz said there, Adam, good chance of him getting a few wins before the season's out.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through the season yet. Can't wait for Road America in 2 weeks' time.
Well, it's going to be another one of those long circuits, isn't it? But a driver favourite, as it always is at Road America. Drivers will be back in action for that one. There's going to be an off week, and that's going to be the same week. I don't have the dates handy, unfortunately. It's going to be the same week as the World Cup match between England and Uruguay, and that's just because quite a few of these drivers are also football fans and they want to support their team in that. So we're having the off week that same week when that match is on. But anyway, 3 really exciting races. If you had to pick a driver of the evening, who would it be, Adam?
I'd say Laura Bond. Well done.
Yeah, fantastic result in the final race, going from 5th to 2nd and maintaining 2nd amongst that sort of level of competition is really good. Flawless drive, really. Well done to Kevin Critchley as well for the win in the last race, having earned the pole position with a 20th place finish in the previous race. And next time you can see BSR TV will be Monday. We'll be back for the Skip Barber series. That's from 8:40 in the evening. Hope you can join us for that one. And the Sprint Cup returns Tuesday as well. So that's from 8:15. Plenty of racing action of all kinds to watch here on BSR TV. But from me and Adam, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.